Yeah, guys and girls, and welcome back to another video. Today is Sunday, the 21st of January, and it's 3:45. Now, I want to do a couple Blu Ray unboxings. Well, I should say unboxings, but because I've already opened them. Now, a really good film. I actually watched the other day. And this is the 50th anniversary edition. I haven't watched any of the sort of like the ins and outs of the special features, but you might not have seen it, or you might have seen it. This is like a film during World War One, I believe. Winner of 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture of 1962. Laurence of Arabia stands as one of the most timeless essential motion pictures masterpieces, the greatest achievement of its legendary Oscar-winning director David Lean. 1962, Laurence of Arabia. 1957, The Bridge on the River Kwai, and the film stars Peter O'Toole in his career-making performance as T.E. Lawrence, the audacious World War I British Army officer who heroically united rival Arab desert tribes and led them to war against the mighty Turkish Empire. Newly restored and remastered at 4K resolution. Unfortunately, this is not the 4K version. This is the Blu-ray version, so I presume they've upscaled it to 4K, or remastered it in 4K, and then they've dubbed it down to like sort of, because it says here 1080p high definition. Now, if at some point they do release a 4K version, I'll be the first probably one to get it, because this is a classic film. I watched this, it was a nearly 4-hour film, and me and my mum was sitting there watching it right through to the start to the end. There was an intermission in between half of it, and it's just absolutely brilliant, guys and girls. And then you've got top stars in there. You've got Alec Guinness. Now, he was the one from the Star Wars movies as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Brilliant actor. Brilliant actor. Got Anthony Quinn. Jack Hawkins. Jose Ferreira. Anthony Quayle. Claude Rains. I believe he was the Invisible Man. I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on that. I think he was the Invisible Man, or the original Invisible Man. And then you've got Arthur Kennedy. Yeah, Arthur Kennedy. I think Arthur Kennedy, he was the one, I think he was in The Great Escape. I'm not too sure, because there was another, or was that George Kennedy? It might have been George Kennedy. And then we've got Omar Sharif as Ali. And introducing Peter O'Toole as Lawrence. And then you've got the editors and absolutely brilliant film. Done by Sony Pictures and all that, make believe. And this is multi-region. This cost me like £8. That's not bad. £8.99, £9 actually, I should say. £9. Bloody worth buying on Blu-ray. And when I watched it for a 1962 movie, I'll tell you what, just absolutely fantastic picture quality. It didn't feel like a 1962 movie. It just felt, the picture was just popping out. The colours were really good for an old film. And I don't know what camera they were using. It doesn't really tell you. But it says here, newly restored and remastered at 4K resolution, which it ain't 4K. But I suppose they do it at 4K. With a 4K intermediate thing, and then they dub it down. So technically it's like an upscaled to 4K, I presume. The massive scope and epic action and director's cut of Laurence of Arabia can now be experienced like never before in this landmark 50th anniversary. So this is like been on since 50 years in the making. So yeah, that's the back with the Laurence of Arabia and all that. Pretty cool. And that's the front. And I like it when the planes, they come in, they come through these sort of like, it's like an open up area, and there's like hills and mountains, and you see the actual planes coming through. And for an old film, the sound quality was really good as well, especially when Laurence was at the start. And to be honest, right, if you guys and girls are watching it and at the start, and you can't see, you just see a blank picture, for about 4 or 5 minutes there's a blank picture. And the reason that is because they're introducing the music into it first. You hear the actual soundtrack to it for 4 or 5 minutes, and then suddenly the movie's just like, it starts with Laurence just about to get on the bike, and then he's riding his bike, motorbike, or motorcycle, whatever you want to call it, and then he's driving down this sort of like village sort of moat area, and then I think he comes off his motorbike, he sees some sort of animal, I don't know if it was an animal or something. He comes off it and then goes into the bush and just goes on the floor. And you see him with his glasses and everything. It's just a fantastic movie. 4 hours long though. Well, almost 4 hours. About, what's the time on this one? The time is 227 minutes. That's nearly a 4 hour film. 227 minutes. Because 100 minutes... well, actually 90 minutes,
240,
no, 90 minutes is an hour and a half, so 100 minutes, that's an hour and 40, so 2 hour 40 is, that's a long time. So anyway, guys and girls, hang on, let me just open the box. So in the box you've got this like little sort of sleeve. This is like a sort of a 50th anniversary sort of sleeve. And then on the side you have Laurence of Arabia. And then you've got like Sony there. Bit shaky today. So yeah. Oh, hang on. There's it. Been working out for yesterday. So when you do working out and stuff, sometimes because you're using the nerves so much, you end up like building up like sort of the strength. But also you get the shake with it as well. So... for overdoing it, and I like to overdo it. I like to burn the actual muscle and then let it heal up for a few days. So that's the main one. That's the, that's upside down, that. So we've got that. That's the side, and then we've got the other side right there. Now this is a 12, but they do have some sort of like low language in it, not too much. There's a few episode in that, or a little bit of the scene, where there's some explosions as well. Absolutely fantastic for its time. And then you see the guy, or the actual person playing the pilot, literally trying to shoot everybody, and everyone running for their lives and all that. Fantastic. And then, was it the two tribes are trying to get along with each other, and one of them gets shot, and then he goes... So he says, so you basically, if you take someone's life on the other side, then you can actually kill the other guys there. So he said, instead of stopping this, like having a war with each other, he said, I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to shoot this person, one of your men. And he said, now you'll be even. So he said, then you won't even have it. Then he said, instead of you blaming each other, you can blame me for it, he says. Fucking fantastic film. Just a lovely, lovely, beautiful movie from start to finish. Some good stuff in there, and the graphics for its time, just amazing. Then you've got special features on this Blu Ray, exclusive picture in graphics, Secrets of Arabia, Blu Ray exclusive, Peter O'Toole revisits Laurence of Arabia, the making of Laurence of Arabia. I think he's actually dead now as well. Laurence of Arabia's not the real Laurence of Arabia, but Peter O'Toole, because I think he died a few years ago, but unless he's still alive, but I don't think he is. I think he died a few years ago, back 2014, if I'm not correct. Let us know in the comments below. Featurettes. Camels are cast, and it's like it's that beautiful scene as well, where that like young kid is trying to find Laurence, and he's like through the desert, and you see this sort of like, he thinks it could be a mirage, but he's not too sure, and then you see him coming closer, and then they start shouting at each other, and you start to see him gallop on the the camel and all of that. That was a beautiful film, wasn't it?
Very good.
Very beautiful. This is probably one of my favourite all-time films, actually, to be honest. Old film, very old film, but you got to give it its worth and its dues. For its time, it was just a fantastic, beautiful film. And they did what they did. I don't know what cameras they used, though. Doesn't actually tell you what...
And do you think of all the extras they get in there?
I know, loads of extras. There's actually, like, they had the old harness on both sides. And you see them all trying to fight each other and all that to the death. And then Laurence actually had to take over the base. So they ends up getting the whole crew to come in there to take them all out. And then there's that bit at the end. He tells his army soldier, I think it was like his boss. He goes, "We've done it. We've taken it. We've taken the base." And his boss, like, didn't really want it. No, he didn't want to believe it. And then I think he says, like, "Well done," at the end and all that. And the music, where just the outro of the music is just fantastic. Just beautiful soundtrack. And it says, yeah, winner of 7 Academy Awards. I should bloody hope so as well. Anyway, so what do we have in the box? I'm considering we've got a little sleeve. This actually comes like with Blu Ray and the digital ultraviolet thing, but the ultraviolet, no, that one, because I bought this one off Amazon. Probably use that one at some point and put it on my phone or something. And then you can get classics like Das Boot, a Wolfgang Peterson film, Laurence of Arabia, which is the one on there already, and classics as Taxi Driver. Got Taxi Driver there as well, you can get on the classics. Classic films the way they were supposed to be seen. In other words, the way they were supposed to be seen was actually to be seen on Blu Ray, maybe 4K. I'm hoping, I'm praying, right, that the directors of the film, or the actual creators of the film, actually brings this out on 4K. Obviously, it's a 4K sort of release, where it says here remastered at 4K. So at 4K, so it ain't going to be 4K, but it's at that point. So what we get is you get 2 beautiful, you get like, I think this is disc 1. No, that's the bonus disc. So that comes with all the features, that red one there. And then you've got the ordinary Blu Ray movie right there. Absolutely brilliant. Worth watching actually 1 or twice. Probably 3, 4 times. Maybe 100 times actually. It's just that damn brilliant, to be honest. I've not seen a film like this in a long time. Because I watched a lot of films last year. But yeah, definitely worth it. And because this was supposed to be unboxing, which it is an unboxing, but I'm doing a sort of like a small review about it. So yeah. Anyway, also I got the other day, and I'm watching the first one at the moment. Well, I've watched the first one at the moment. Absolutely brilliant. If you guys and girls haven't watched it, best of the best. Absolutely brilliant. The first one, just a classic. There's talks of a reboot to reboot the series or the films, and I can't wait for that. But hopefully they get the right characters. Maybe put Jean-Claude Van Damme in it. Otherwise, they'll probably put some really rubbish characters in there. Alex Grady, Eric Roberts, and Oregon Wilder, and widowed father of a 5-year-old son, is chosen for the US national karate team. He finds himself in the company of Travis Brickley, Chris Penn, an urban cowboy with an attitude, and a host of other offbeat characters. Their coach, Frank Cuso, James Earl Jones. I believe he was actually... he was in a film with Sylvester Stallone, I believe, in Lockup. Well, I'm not too sure. I think it was him, unless it's someone else. and I think he was like the prison warden in the film. Absolutely brilliant film though. A hardened veteran of high-powered karate competition, it's a team with rough edges and problems that must be resolved if they are to win the international competition and become the best of the best. So basically they take on, I think it's like North Korea or something, or some Koreans in the match, and one of the North Koreans actually killed this other bloke's brother, so he's out on revenge, and he's bent on revenge, and the matches happen. They end up doing, because basically he's got one of these super deadly kicks, and every time he turns his leg sideways or just turns it a little bit, you can get more power out of it. He's used it because he uses a sort of like a connective energy to push his like kick into it, make it deadly. So he uses pretty much the force, basically. Anyway, he gets to the point having a fight and all that with this guy at the end. Almost kills him and almost gets the revenge he wants, but then finds that the revenge that he wants ain't gonna bring his brother back from the dead and stuff. So he ends up like having him as a brother, because it wasn't this bloke's fault that he actually beat him. He kicked him so hard, but I think they were doing training or something. And you got Eric Roberts in it, fantastic actor, and yeah, just a fantastic actor. And he's played, He's played in Dead or Alive movie, where he had like a thing where you could see people's moves and all of that. What else he's played in? Eric Roberts. Actually, Eric Roberts, I believe, is Julia Roberts' brother. Brother and sister, I think. But yeah, he's played in quite a few good, decent films that I can't remember at the moment. But yeah, definitely a worth pick up. That's the back there. So you get 4 films in it. That's the complete collection. And then for the disc, I mean, to be honest, the sound quality is okay-ish. I wouldn't say it's the best. It's only 2.0 stereo, so it's not really anything to grumble at. But yeah, that's the discs. So basically, on which one is it? So on this one here, you get 1 and 2. I've only watched the first one at the moment, so I'm going to watch the second one later of that. And then you got the 3rd and 4th movie. Absolutely brilliant films, huh? I think the next films I want to try and get for my collection is American Ninja Collection. I think there's like 5 movies altogether, but I'm not too sure, because the only ones I've seen is the box set with 4 in them. So I'm wondering where the 5th one is. Also, I want to get No Retreat, No Surrender. I believe Jean-Claude Van Damme was in the first one, but then it was like, I think it's like a film where a bloke, a kickboxing film, where this bloke gets, I think when he's training, I think it was a trainer who actually was teaching this kid. He doesn't want to give up his school and stuff, like his teaching school for martial arts. This bloke comes in and says to him and wants to beat the shit out of him, so he beats the crap out of him. To try and take over the business. Basically, he's trying to use it as a sort of a racketeer and all that. So, trying to extort money out of the actual martial arts like studio. So it gets to the point where they end up having a fight, but this bloke, he can't beat him. So he ends up one day sitting, I think, in his house, and then like training and stuff, and he can't train. Suddenly the ghost, the spirit of Bruce Lee comes out and teaches him all the moves and stuff. And I think this is the one where Jean-Claude Van Damme ends up getting backflipped by this kid who does a backflip and kicks him right in the chin, and then knocks him right over the top of the rope in a final battle. Just a brilliant film. But anyway, guys and girls, if you enjoyed these videos of my talks on these, Best of the Best and Laurence of Arabia unboxings.
Film.
No, what do you mean Moses? There's no film called Moses.
I thought they did that.
No. What you're on about? No, I don't think there's an actual film called Moses. They've got a film, The 10 Commandments, which is based on like.
That'd be
Moses and all that, where he opens up the river and all that.
Yeah, the Ten Commandments.
Ten Commandments.
Yeah, that'd be a good film.
Yeah, that'd be, but that's a long film. I think that's like 4 hours long. So that's the same sort of equivalent to this film. But it's, and I think it's 3 3/4, like 3 hours, 45-minute film. So yeah. Anyway, guys and girls, if you enjoyed...
Easter's coming up next, holiday.
Yeah, Easter, Anyway, cheers for watching, guys and girls. If you enjoyed, do like, favourite, share, comment, subscribe. Cheers all for watching, and stay safe.